All right. Welcome to the Work Sucks, But I Like It podcast. Today we have Desi Bolin. She indicates that aligned success begins where clarity meets structure and your soul leads the way. She hosts the Catalyst Conversations podcast, which I was on a couple months ago, and I'm excited to have her on today on my show, and is the founder and CEO of Virtually Sourced Solutions, LLC. Desi, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so excited, Tony. This is going to be so much fun.
No, love it. Define work for us today.
Well, that is a loaded question, as simple as it is.
Come on, it's a Friday afternoon.
It is a Friday afternoon. I mean, come on now. And I think that every person has their own description of what work is. To me, work is what lights me up, right? It's what fulfills my purpose and passion in life. That is the work that I enjoy doing, and that is the work that I do every single day.
I love that. So how does that look in the day for you? What lights you up during the day?
Hitting me with the hard questions today. What does that look like? It looks like witnessing transformation.
In yourself or others?
Both. Because by facilitating breakthrough and transformation for others, I also grow myself, right? It's a twofold. It looks like seeing something come together, right? Whether it's an automation or a nurture sequence or a funnel or a strategy that's implemented, right? Seeing the final product, that lights me up.
Cool. Love that. So one of the things you mentioned on your recent podcast was that clarity liberates us. What do you mean when you say that? What kind of clarity are we looking to have throughout our day that could, I guess, light us up? Maybe that's the clarity. I really enjoyed that sort of expression when you're talking to Barbara in the June 2026 podcast. Clarity liberates us. Can you expand on that, please?
Yeah, absolutely, I can. And I love this question. Clarity, again, is different for everybody. For me, when I say clarity liberates us, and I'm going to speak from experience here because I know myself best, right? Clarity for me allowed me to gain freedom, right? And it's not clarity in the sense of specific tasks or specific things you're looking for answers on. It's clarity on who you are, on who you show up to be. It's clarity on the alignment, which is exuded and amplified and expanded in everything else that you do. And that is liberation.
Love that. So I guess like this clarity on alignment, what are we aligning towards, right? I like how you made a distinction. It's not necessarily the task. What should we be thinking about? What should we be in terms of alignment of, clarity on alignment, excuse me.
Yeah. So alignment for me it's who you were designed to be. It's how you operate best. It's how you make decisions. It's how you lead. And each person is going to have their own mix and match, kind of way of doing this, right? You have to look internally to figure out where your alignment lies. And I've recognized like there are signs, right? When you're out of alignment, when you're misaligned, you'll be a lot of the time in negative emotions. You'll be depressed, overwhelmed, stressed out, anxiety ridden. You'll be, oh gosh, there's just so many, right? What I have found since working with my soul embodiment framework and my catalyst framework is when you reach that alignment point, you are in the spaces of joy, peace, enlightenment, and happiness. And isn't that such a better place to be?
So when you talk about who you were designed to be, it sounds like you can also design to be there.
Yes.
So walk us through this sort of process now of that. How do we become, I guess? How do we become?
I don't think it's become. I think it's get back to.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
In my belief system, I'm going to tell you this analogy that I use, and it's interesting. Okay, so alignment for me is like it's tools in your toolbox, right? That you can call back on when life happens to you. That's the premise of breakthrough and transformation. It's not a one and done. It's a continual process using tools that you gather to peel back the layers of the onion that life throws on you to get back to who you were, right? And it's interesting and it's different for everybody, right? I mean, I have peeled back so many layers, and I can honestly say that my energies and the way I show up is how I was meant to.
Mm.
Now, if you had met me 5 years ago, oh boy. Yeah, I was a 180. I was way different.
So what was the catalyst then? I guess walk us through. I want to walk through this because this is kind of what I love to talk about in the Work Sucks podcast. What
Mhm.
relatively sucked, if you will, back then, what made you realize catalyst moment, this clarity, this alignment to now be where you are today?
So, it's a little bit of a heavy topic. I'll just premise that. 5 years ago, I had a miscarriage,
Mm.
and it led to a year long of excruciating pain because the doctors could not or would not figure it out what was happening, which resulted in surgery. So, go through this whole year long of not knowing really what to do or how to do anything, right? It led to a big period of depression and overwhelm, and I'm the sole breadwinner for the family. Not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. That whole entire journey kickstarted my personal growth and development journey. And I know I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. I've always believed that nothing is put in your path that you cannot overcome or that you're not supposed to overcome. So it was looking at it like, okay, I am being guided to look deeper at myself
Mm.
because who I am showing up to be is not who I am.
I guess what did you see though? I mean, the miscarriage is a lot of different things. I mean, I guess what did you see in terms of that when you went inward?
Yeah, it fed into a lot of my undercurrent story, the
Mm.
story that I dug into when I was 5, that I'm not enough.
Ah,
That was
okay.
the biggest theme and continues to still show up, right? Even though I've done all this work, and that's why I say it's a toolbox, guys. Keep calling back on those tools because it's going to continue to show up. Your subconscious is designed to keep you in homeostasis, to keep you safe, right? So, I'm not enough was my theme. And in that instance, it was a big moment of I am still not enough. Even though I know it had nothing to do with me. But my brain and my body didn't realize that, right?
So how did you do the work then? I'm very curious. Like, we don't mind getting a little technical here. I don't know all the
No.
details, but I just love it. Not love, but this is a good catalyst, if you will, right? And the kind of
Yeah.
relative work that might have sucked to go inward, right? To go back to that 5-year-old Desi.
Oh, it definitely was hard, harder than I expected it to be. And like I had tried meditation and
Mm.
things like that before, and those never really worked for me. Yet I'm in a coaching program and have been in a coaching program that had transformational breakthrough pieces. So I got a lot out of those. I did Landmark. I did a full year of Landmark, 8 different courses over the course of
Boom.
a year. If you haven't figured it out, I dump feet first when I decide to do something. And I continue to pick up on those breakthrough and transformational pieces. But Landmark is really the one that had me look internally at my childhood story. What is the story that's underpinning everything that I'm doing and how I'm showing up? And it was really, it is a very long, involved process, I will say that, of getting to that root. But it's really asking yourself the question of what is the earliest situation that I can remember? Why or what was I feeling in that moment? Why was I feeling that way? And then breaking it down so you can rewrite the script. Because oftentimes, especially the younger stories, we tell ourselves it was one way. In reality, it was a different way. And we ascribe meaning to things that don't need meaning ascribed to them. They don't, it sounds cold, but it means nothing,
Mhm.
right? And that's one of the big takeaways I've gotten from the personal growth and development journey is that everything means nothing. The only way it means something is if you ascribe meaning to it,
I love that.
right?
So I feel like your theme of not enough or your story rather, is like a theme in today's culture, right? Hustle culture. We're always saying not enough, more clients, bigger business, da da da. I guess how do you see enough today with the work that you do?
I think that comes back to fulfillment. How fulfilled are you? And what is your definition of enough?
Mm.
Because everybody's is different. One version of enough is I'm a multimillionaire. One version of enough is I have impacted thousands of people, right? It really is going to come back to you personally. What is your definition of success? For me, it's the impact I create, not necessarily the money that's ascribed to it. Do I want to make money in the business so the business continues? Of course. Of course. Do I want to keep bringing in money so I can help more people? Of course. Is that my primary objective? No. And I think there is something to be said about what you attract when you come at it from that standpoint instead of going at it directly for the money, right? It's a completely different energy.
Absolutely. So I guess what's the impact that you're looking to have on people? What would you say that is?
I operate currently right now, at least last time I heard, learned this from a friend, that 3% of the world's population has gone through personal growth and development. It's not a lot.
3?
3.
3%? Holy
Mhm.
shit, sorry. That's crazy. That's really
I know.
low.
That was my response too. So now
Wow.
I operate with the intention of getting 20% of the world's population to go through personal growth and breakthrough. Because I know from experience that each person that goes through a transformation and breakthrough has a ripple effect on everyone around them. So that is the impact that I am looking to make. And I know that 20% is millions of people,
Mm.
right? And I'm strategic about how I do it. I work with larger companies on their strategies, on their mindset, on their breakthroughs, right? And they take in turn because going back to what I shared before, it's expanded and amplified in your business. That one leader in that company is expanding and amplifying a different mindset moving forward, which affects everyone in their circle, right? It's a ripple effect.
Of all the people that you work with, Desi, I guess we like to say on the show that success is not a matter of good luck, it's good skills. What would you say is the one skill that you would like to tell the listeners or that you've seen with all the clients you work with, yourself included, the sort of personal growth? I guess what is that one skill for personal growth is the question.
It sounds simple and it's not. It's operate with intention and be detached from the outcome.
Ah.
And this is points to not ascribing meaning to things that don't need meaning to them. It's also intentionally moving forward, right? So that means I can go into a conversation that may be emotionally charged and I can respond practically. That
Mm.
doesn't, and a lot of times I hear this a lot. It means someone will say, so you're cold? No, I'm not cold. I still have feelings. I still have emotions. I just don't let them affect me in that way.
Yeah, not reacting, responding. Yep.
Right.
Love that. Yep.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And in terms of personal growth, it's give yourself permission. Don't judge yourselves. We are all here. We are all human. We all have gone through things. Life is things, right? And give yourself permission to heal and move forward.
I guess what does that look like, right? Because again, I'm
Yeah.
still shocked by this 3%. That blows my
I
friggin'
know.
mind here that it's such a bad number. I guess what permission do we need to give our listeners today to look at the personal growth breakthroughs
Think
or
it's
heal?
permission. I think it's an invitation. A lot
Okay.
of times people are scared to go through and do the personal growth and transformation.
Why is that?
Mm, who knows? It could be fear of being judged. It could be the fear of being seen. There are so many different fears that pop up when you invite someone into that space. And I know this from experience too. You can't force people to do what you want them to do. They have to be open and receptive. So it's positioning it and explaining it in a way that highlights what it could do for them and allowing them to make the choice. I
Mm.
think it's more of an invitation. And if you're thinking about it for yourself, then it's permission. It's permission to move out of your comfort zone and look deeper.
As you work with clients, what is one sort of case that stood out where you've created the space to give this invitation for a person to break through? Maybe you share their name, maybe you don't, but I guess is there one case that stands out above all that was like, wow, this is a really solid personal like growth breakthrough?
Yes. Oh, I have so many.
Love it.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to share names just out of respect for my
Sure.
clients. But I hold a group program, and by chance, she was the only one on that call. And I had something planned out that I was going to talk about. And we went way off course with it because she needed the space to be held.
Mm.
One, because she never creates that space for herself. And two, because those around her were not holding the space for her.
And when you say space to be held, this is an online
Mhm.
call. I just want to get clear. Obviously, you're not holding this person. What do you mean by
Right.
space to be held? Yeah, yeah.
Energetically,
Yep.
emotionally, mentally. The space to be held is essentially a safe space to open up, a space safe to talk it through, a space safe to think it out. And oftentimes, that's all that people need. They just need to be held in that way. The amount of breakthrough and transformation that I have seen from just holding space is incredible.
How do you
It's
create
incredible.
that space? I mean, again, it's very intimidating for people to see, I guess, a dark side of, or not even a dark side, but a side they don't want to see. How do
Right.
you create that space?
For me, I mean, that's who I am. That's who I am. I've always been that for others. Being able to hold it and being responsive, yet still being reactive at the same time. Not letting emotions hit me, but still being able to speak to what they're speaking to while holding the
Mm.
space energetically. It is not easy to do. Others that I have met with this, I mean, you have to hold the gift to do it. It's not something that can be easily learned. And it's just coming with calm, serene energy and
Mm.
inviting them to open up. That's what holding is.
So I'm curious now. So you have a podcast, which I
Mhm.
really loved being on a couple months ago. Catalyst Conversations. What is the impact that you're looking to have with that podcast? Is it about creating that space? Is it about, I
Yes.
guess, why did you create the podcast? I guess is the question.
Why did I start the podcast? Because I know I have a message to share, and those in my network have a message to share. And that's what it primarily is a space to share the message because we never know who needs to hear it. Is there strategy behind it? Of course, because I operate with intention, right? There's strategy to everything that I do. Yet primarily, the driver behind it is a space to be held and share. And I go
Why?
deep. You know this. I go
No,
deep.
I love it. No, I loved it. That's why I wanted you on my podcast here. I guess, why the medium of podcasting?
Well, that's a great question. I can tell you, one, I don't like social media. I don't.
Yeah,
I
right.
avoid it at all costs if I can. Of course, there are times where I will do posts, yet I know myself and I know how I want to show up. And social media is not one of those places I want to show up because I operate 95% on word of mouth and referral. In those cases, I don't need social media presence, right? Because I already have a reputation with them. So I think it just, I mean, it all comes back to personal preference. It all comes back to that alignment of how do you want to show up?
And the podcast kind of fits your
The podcast.
image of showing up.
Mhm.
No, I love it too. I mean, it's such a nice way. I mean, we're getting on the call here and it's like, let's just have fun with this conversation, right? It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
scripted. It doesn't have to be. I think that's what I enjoy most about being a podcast host myself is just these unscripted human conversations we're having, you know? So I want to pick your brain on social media. I know you already kind of gave us your beliefs on it, if you will, your feelings towards it. One things you like to say is you like to strengthen your soul. I guess,
Mhm.
can social media strengthen our soul today?
Yes.
How
Yes.
so?
I'll use me as an example. That's the best one.
Yep.
That's the best one I got. I do use social media. I just don't post on social media, right?
Gotcha.
There's a distinction there. Now, I will use social media when I need a laugh, when I want to cry, I will use it. And in that way, it strengthens the soul. It also strengthens relationships because I invite my family into that space as well. And that's oftentimes what I use it for. I love laughter. So social media for me is a place to go find a lot of laughter really quickly, especially when you're feeling down in your energy. Now, there are times that laughter is not what I'm looking for. Sometimes it's human kindness. And social media is a really great place for that too, right? It's soldiers coming home and reuniting with their families. It's looking at those relationships and just feeling the joy that it always, for me at least, creates tears, right? But it's joyful tears. And it's reaffirming my belief in humanity.
I love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess like that's kind of the intent of social media, right? Is to have these you feel like you have a relationship with these people. You can see the emotions, you can feel whatever they're going through. It's like I love that example of soldiers coming home. I guess unfortunately I've been sort of biased with social media and I think just negatively of it. I guess maybe coach me, educate me on how I can look at social media and not think that this is AI generated. This is just someone wanting to get likes. This is just where do we strike that difference, right? You have a very, again, you have that intention, right, to go on there, see the side of humanity.
Yeah.
I guess go on there and I'm like, this is all crap.
Right.
Like, it's
Okay.
like,
Yes, you sound like my husband. I'm just
all
going to
right,
say
fair enough. Right, there we go.
right? And of course you're going to come across some reels or some shorts that are AI generated or that are scripted for likes and views and comments and engagement in general. I have trained my algorithm, okay? I have specific people that I follow and that is who my social media shows me. And that's not to say that it doesn't change because of course the algorithm fluctuates. Yet Yet, I have very specific people that I know don't script, that I know aren't AI generating, that are just real, authentic people. MD Motivator is a great example of human kindness. For comedy, I mean, there's a lot that I follow because I like comedy. But I mean, it's really digging in and being open to the experience.
How much time do you spend on social media with all the different things you balance, a family, your business, the podcast? What is the specific times that you try to say, this is my social media time?
I don't usually schedule it. I am only usually on social media once a week.
Okay.
Unless my energies really, really need it. But most of the time it's once a week. And usually it's going to be a weekend. So a Friday or Saturday night where I can hang out with the family and get them involved in it as well. But yeah, it's not often.
I feel like that's really
Yeah.
good discipline. How did you get to that point? Do you have, I want to get technical here. Do you have the apps
Mhm.
on your phone? Do you have timers? Do you have notifications turned off? How do you do that?
Well, yeah,
It's pretty
yes,
good once a
of
week.
course, I have apps on my phone. I am a big voracious reader. So most of the time I am reading and I want to be reading.
Mm.
So I connect with social every once in a while. I don't really need discipline in that sense because I'm being pulled in another direction a lot of the time, especially when I've sustained my soul to go back and read because that's who I am. I love reading.
Gotcha. So it's like a quick little break and then you get back
Yeah.
into the zone. No, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that kind of visual. So Desi, this is the Work Sucks, but I Like It podcast. What is one thing that sucks about your work, relatively speaking? And what are you doing to make it not suck?
I would say the work that sucks a lot of the time is hearing the difficult stories.
Ah, okay.
Is hearing the difficult situations. And what I do about it is everything that I can to support and love and hold and create the space for the healing, right? And truthfully, that is the hardest part of it.
Hmm. No, that's awesome. So if listeners want, I guess, what is your invitation? Let's use that word to listeners for them to reach out to you to, be part of this safe space to kind of have that personal breakthrough. Where's a good place for them to land?
Come find me. I'm stinking everywhere. And I make it really, really simple. Just go to talkwithdesi.com and book a call with me.
I think that's how we actually met. It was like
It is.
just kind of here, just have a conversation. All right, cool. Here we are. So- but that's awesome. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Desi, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony.
And there's a way